for creating a baby hot hatch have been relatively simple. Take a Super Mini, drop in a more powerful engine and stiffen up the suspension and beef up the bodywork, and hey presto. But when Audi was creating the S1, it soon realised that there hadn't been an S-Series car that didn't feature Quattro, and with that the S1 became an all-wheel drive, and since then there hasn't been a hot hatch that's come close to it on the road. Power is delivered 60-40 bias towards the front wheels, but when you get your toe down it will change it to 50-50. That means it can get the power down quicker than many of its rivals. How quick? Well, the figures speak for themselves. It'll do 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds. That's nearly a second quicker than the Ford Fiesta ST and the Clio RS. And it'll keep going to a top speed of a staggering 155 miles per hour. Once you've realised it's the same 228 brake horsepower turbocharged 2-litre 4-cylinder engine that's used in the Audi TT or the Volkswagen Golf R, then you won't be too surprised at the performance figures, or the fact that this is an excellent hot hatch when driven at speed. The steering is responsive, and when combined with the grip levels from the 4-wheel drive system, it gives you the confidence to place the car exactly where you want. The body doesn't lean and the gear shift is light and precise. Accelerates hard and there's no torque steer, which is something that afflicts many high-powered front-wheel drive rivals. The S1 features Audi's Drive Select, which allows the driver to set the car up depending on how they're going to be driving it. So for example, dynamic mode will weighten up the steering, firm up the dampers and increase engine noise. The only problem is it feels very clinical and almost like the car's taking all the fun out of pushing it to the limits. Set it to auto mode though and the ride becomes a much more relaxed place. The ride is less likely to shake your fillings out, and overall it's considerably more refined. So from the start the S1 seems like a good option for the petrol head. On the outside though, the styling doesn't really differentiate it too much from any other A1 in the lineup. It's only when you look a little closer that you really notice the key differences, like the low profile tyres and sporty alloys, bigger front grille, Quattro badging and 4 exhaust pipes sticking out of the back, or even the fact that it runs 25mm lower than a standard A1. What's more, the S1 is available not only as a 3-door version but a 5-door Sportback model too. The S1 is a premium hatchback and it commands a premium price tag. If you were to buy the 3-door entry-level version, it will cost you nearly £26,000, but this one, with all the optional extras, comes in at around £35,000. Now that's knocking on the door of the Volkswagen Golf R and the BMW M135. Where the S1 really stands up against the competition is the interior build quality. It remains very much an Audi. The dash is just as beautifully put together as you'd find in a model that commands a much fatter price tag. The materials are first rate and there's no sign of budget cutting anywhere. If there was anything we'd criticise though, it's that there's little sense of drama behind the wheel. You know it's fast, but there's nothing that really excites either. Even a stopwatch or boost gauge that would spice it up a little. Nevertheless, the front seats are comfortable and supportive, as you'd expect, and the steering wheel adjusts for both reach and height, also as you'd expect. The equipment levels are pretty generous too, including a 6.5-inch infotainment system which has all the essentials like DAB radio, Bluetooth and USB, but sat-nav is a cost option. One area the S1 falls down is usability. If you want practicality to match performance, then you need to look at the more powerful S3. The S1 is really best suited to anyone who rarely carries more than one extra person and a little luggage. By adding a 4-wheel drive system, boot space has been compromised by around 30% over a standard A1. That means you'll now get around 210 litres. This can be expanded to 860 litres by folding down the rear seats. If you do love the A1 though, but do want a bit more space, then it's worth considering the bigger 5-door version. The S1 is an excellent hot hatch. On paper it's quick, it's got bags of grip thanks to the four-wheel drive system, the interior is beautifully put together and there's a decent level of equipment. The only downsides though are that it doesn't have the same sense of occasion that you may find in some of its rivals. Plus there's the other issue of that rather exuberant price tag.